It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early on another marvelous Monday. We're so happy that you can join us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner, wishing a happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, everybody. The weekend is done. The start to a brand new week. It is Monday, December 4th, and you're up dead early with us, and we are grateful. How was your weekend, Dav?
A blur. You know, this was one of those mornings I was like, already?
Yeah. Right.
It's Monday already.
Yes.
But it was great. It was full of exciting things. And I started my Christmas decorations.
All right.
So, I mean, that's the best part of December.
Yeah, and Christmas is in full swing, especially now that we know the Junkanoo order. And we're talking about Junkanoo today, but I just let you know, the order is out. We got to hear what y'all saying about who about to win Junkanoo. So we tried this thing last week, but you can try it again this week. Come call the studio anytime. 322-1000. I hope I got it right. And tell us who you think winning Junkanoo and Boxing Day and New Year's. But anyway, let's roll on. We got a full show and a great show. We'll be discussing surgical management of benign prostatic hyperplasia in our urology care segment. Also, members of the National Junkanoo Committee are here to tell us more about that organization. We'll also be starting our series featuring the grant recipients of the Wilson Awards and Prize established by the Wilson Family Foundation.
Shell will join us to talk about their exciting Christmas promotion. We'll also be discussing Zonta's free webinar, which is Preventing Domestic Violence Through Healthy Relationships. And the Minister of Economic Affairs is here to provide some insight on the government's fiscal performance thus far. But first, let's check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Front to move here sometime this evening. Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini by late afternoon, late evening across New Providence. 1 or 2 showers associated with that system. Not much of a cool down also, but a second front is expected on Wednesday. Surface trough in southeastern islands will produce some showers in the Miguana, Crocodile, and Acklands over the next couple of days. Weather today, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds, still on the warm side. And yes, the chance of a few showers, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas and in the southeastern islands. Your high temperature 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild. Your low going down to 74 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 87 and 76. In Jamaica 89 and 76. Trinidad 1974. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 86 and 74. Across North America, Atlanta 63 and 45. In Boston 47 and 42. In Miami 83 and 73. Dallas, Texas, 62 and 43, and Toronto, Canada, 43 and 35. As we go the week, with the combination at cold front today and one on Wednesday, and then we expect temperature daytime to be in the low to mid-80s at daytime into Wednesday, in the lower 70s at nighttime. After front passing, expect to be breezy, with those temperatures dropping into the upper 70s daytime, and those mid to upper 60s at nighttime for a couple of days during the end of the week. That puts a wrap. When you first look at weather at sunrise, I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. Benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, is a condition in men where the prostate gland is swollen but is not cancerous. Here to tell us more is our good friend, Dr. Greggory Pinto, here to tell us about BPH. So here we are, Dr. Pinto, BPH.
It's a pleasure to be here. I have to say good morning to my daughter, Gia. BPH affects every man if he's lucky enough to live to a ripe old age. And I'm talking even middle age. So by the time you're 45, at least 40% of men are going to have some obstructive or irritative urinary symptoms where the flow isn't what it was. You're peeing more frequently in the night. You have to know where the next bathroom is everywhere you go. It can go to the extreme where you can have incontinence, where you're going to have that social awkwardness because you're perceived or you actually smell a little bit like urine. So it can be devastating in terms of professionally, socially. It can affect your self-esteem. But you got to listen to your body, because if you're not emptying your bladder, you can have back pressure on your bladder, which in itself can cause irreversible damage. You can have back pressure on your kidneys that can cause acute kidney injury. Eventually, if you leave it alone, it can cause chronic renal failure. You can end up on dialysis. So
the main reasons are for BPH is just we get older and your body just got some wear and tear on it, and your prostate starts to swell up just through the day-to-day activities of life.
So in life, you have cell death and you have new cell replication. So as you get older, it's not as if your prostate grows at a faster rate. It's actually the rate of cell death decreases. So the cumulative effect is the size of the prostate, the cells are growing at the same rate, but the rate of cell death is slowed down. So the cumulative effect is your prostate gets bigger, 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 slowly, progressively. So it's not going to be a one-day thing, a one-month thing. It's going to be a slow, progressive change, and you may not be aware of it immediately. It might be your wife say, why all of a sudden are you waking up 3 times in the night? Why all of a sudden we have to know where the next bathroom is? We're on a plane, you got to keep going and coming. You're in a meeting, you got to go and excuse yourself to urinate. It could be a very distressing situation.
So I'm sure there are various interventions, but for surgical intervention, what are the main symptoms or indicators that you look for?
Well, if it's affecting your quality of life, if it's deteriorating your kidney function, if all of a sudden you feel that the medication that you were on that was effective is no longer effective. So you're looking at symptoms, we're looking at your history, we're looking at serum blood values to see if your kidney function is deranged. If you're not emptying your bladder, that in itself can increase your PSA, your prostate-specific antigen.
Right.
So PSA is not specific for cancer, it's specific to the prostate gland. So if you're not emptying your bladder, if you have a big but normal prostate, that can cause your PSA to jump up. Right. And then we look at the other extreme. Just because you're not urinating at all doesn't mean it's necessarily a good sign. If you can go a whole day and not have to urinate once, that may be that you're just in chronic retention. Right. That your bladder is expanded to such a size that you can hold urine longer than anyone else, and it's just an inevitable disaster that's about to happen.
It's a superpower. If you
It
can
is,
hold it.
it is, it is.
I wish my children
So
had that
there's so many
superpower.
the most important take-home message is that anything in modern urology is minimally invasive. We have all the advanced techniques. Everything we talk about is minimal to no recovery. You can do it as an outpatient. You're not a single cut, not a single stitch. Everything is done through a scope, through the opening that God made it, gave us, urethra. We use the energy source to reduce the size of prostate. There are many ways of doing that, and you're home right away.
Tell me about this green light laser vaporization technique. It sounds like something out of a Marvel comic, but tell me about this technology and how this helps.
So as the name implies, we basically vaporize the tissue and basically disintegrate it into nothing. So we're going to be rolling that out hopefully in January, February, the latest of next year at Doctor's Hospital, which is really going to be transformational, because someone can literally come in on their extended lunch hour, get their problems sorted out in terms of waking up 10 times in the night to urinate, or having to run to the bathroom all the time, or even worse, driving around with a cup because they have to urinate in. Or I know people who actually avoid going in traffic, so they'll go home at 7:30 in the night because they know if they're stuck in traffic, they're going to embarrass themselves. You can't live like that. Right. Stopping drinking any liquids at 5 o'clock in the evening because they know they're going to have to be waking up all in the night if they drink anything. Going through life dehydrated. That in itself can cause kidney failure, can cause kidney stones. So you don't want to create a new problem by avoiding the fact that you have a problem already.
So what's the take-home message for us men in terms of how do we deal with BPH going forward? Like what age we should be looking out for this? And once again, how do we find a solution to this problem? How do we find it?
It's inevitable. So it's not a lack of exercise. It's not anything you do in your diet. It's just that you're getting older. Particularly men of African ancestry are going to have a bigger prostate as they get older than their other racial counterparts. That's just inevitable.
It's just a part of life.
So we're talking about late 40s, about 50% of 50-year-olds, 60% of 60-year-olds, and probably 80% of 70-year-olds are going to experience this. So this is the most common thing faced by any urologist in the world. It's an inevitable part. So in terms of resection, some months I might have to do 30 in a single month in this small country. So it's a overwhelming problem.
Well, we're looking forward to the green light vaporization technique.
Am I.
I wish I could work on my utility bills. But hey, we'd like to thank you again for being here on the show this morning, talking about BPH, telling us how we should be looking at this as men and how we can treat it. And looking forward to January and the new technology you guys will be using.
Yeah. So never ignore any urinary symptoms. If you have a problem, seek help. There should be no embarrassment in seeking help.
Thank you, Dan, for joining us on Mamas at
It's
Sunrise.
always a pleasure.
You're watching Mamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Hey Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way.
Where have you been?
Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage your claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's NUA. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Welcome back. It's beginning to look and feel a lot like Christmas. So Fabian Fernander, Sales and Marketing Manager, and Edwin Thompson, Retail Territory Manager with Sun Oil Limited, are here to talk about their Christmas promotion. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning and season's greetings.
Yes, it is that
really
time of year.
It is.
Alrighty, I feel like
Alrighty.
December just snuck up on us, and we are so excited about all of the Christmas activities. And of course, Sun Oil is not being left out. So tell us, what is the theme of this year's promotion?
So the theme this year is Jingle All the Way Around the World. So we decided, every year we do something different. and it's never Christmas until Shell launches their Christmas promotion.
Aha.
Yeah, so this year, we're going to make persons jingle all the way around the world and travel them to all kind of exotic places.
Oh, that sounds like my kind of promotion. So where are we jingling to?
So that choice is up to you. So what we're going to do is give you an expensive, nice fuel voucher and a travel voucher. So the travel voucher is going to be anywhere around the world, your choice, all expenses paid. You get your airfare, your hotel, your car, the whole experience. And then a part of that is because we want to, it's exciting now. We have the Dolphins here and the football season. So we have this all expense paid package to go watch the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills game.
So like when you say anywhere, all expenses paid, I'm sure there has to be a ceiling.
So I did a little check, right? And this for 2 people, right? So I did some checks and I could go to Spain, 2 people, $2,000, right? I could go to Paris, $1,600 me and a guest.
Fair.
That ain't 5,000 yet now. So you could build your itinerary from January to when you want to end, up to $5,000 worth of travel. Now you can find a little bit of expense money, for little tickets, but you could book your flights right now. Once you get the $5,000, you could go online, start booking your flight because you're covered.
I don't know anyone who would not want to be a part of this. So I feel like our viewers are eager. When does this start? How do people sign up for this?
Good. So the promotion already started. So it started last week, and it's going all the way until December 11. All you have to do is pull up to any Shell station, spend $20 of fuel, and you're automatically entered to win.
Okay, so during that fuel process, do you fill out a form? Like, what happens?
So it's very simple. So after you get your $20, you can ask your attendant for a receipt. You write your name and your phone number on the back of the receipt and drop it in. But that's one of the ways to enter. Eddie, you want to tell them about the Focus Smart Pass?
Well, the Focus Smart Pass, we launched that earlier this year, and automatically you pull up to the pump. You have the Smart Pass on your mobile phone. You scan the QR code on the pump. It tells you you're pump number 2 at Shell Montague. You insert your nozzle in the tank, put in your $20 fuel. You automatically get a receipt from that purchase, and that receipt, you submit that. That's automatically entered for the draw. So you don't have to do anything with that. Now, if you purchase it at the pump, you get your receipt. We have it now. You don't have to leave no receipt in the thing. You can WhatsApp it to us, 4220271. So once you purchase your fuel, $20 worth of fuel, you take a photo of that receipt, WhatsApp it to us, you automatically enter to win. And we're going to have a first live remote this Friday coming. So we will have people already been entered because you started from last week. So we have people already in there now. They're just going to wait. We'll have randomly selection through the computer system, and we will contact up to about 15 to 20 people to come on down. On Friday, we will be at Shell Airport. We're going to start up at Shell Airport, and people will come down and spin the wheel to see which prize they're going to walk away with.
I mean, these are some very, very exciting prizes. So how long does this entire campaign last?
So the entire campaign lasts for 5.5 weeks.
Okay.
So you have this time, you have multiple opportunities to win. So we talked about the big grand prizes, but there's over $30,000 in cash prizes and also vouchers. So we have many partners out there. We have BPL, and we're giving away BPL fuel vouchers. So everyone have that high BPL bill in January. So you get that BPL voucher, pay that bill down. We have fuel vouchers, so if you don't feel like you've been driving too much, but you always come into Shell, we can give you the whole month free of fuel. We have tons of other stuff. We also partner with our partners, One Blood promotion. So we're giving away One Blood tickets. So there are tons of things you can win and lots of prizes.
Tangs and tangs and
Tangs
tangs.
and tangs.
And which Shell gas stations are participating?
Well, we have 13 locations on the island, and any one of those Shell locations you pull into, you can, once you get your $20 purchase, you get a receipt. Now, you can get busy and the attendant, you say, hey, where's my receipt? I need to enter this here. Jingle all the way. I want to win.
I know. I think I bought some gas yesterday. I'm like, wait, I didn't enter. I'm going to go back. I'm going to take my receipt and make sure that I entered to win.
$20 and you get your receipt. Because it get busy and they run it up and down. So what we have, our cash is doing, the minute they hit $20 on pump 3, they automatically printed that receipt because, you got to pay for it before.
Of course.
Print that receipt, give it back to the service champion. When he returned back she returned back to the car, they present you that receipt. Don't forget, fill out the receipt, take a photo of it, WhatsApp it to our 4220271, automatically enter to win.
And very quickly, we're just about out of time, but just tell us, why is it so important for Sun Oil to give back?
So it's important for us because, as a part of this community, one of the biggest things is not just being a part of the community, taking it back away, but also giving back to persons. Community partnership is a huge part of what we do in terms of giving back, sponsorships, donations, and encouraging our youth. And this is how we really fuel growth for people, not just to putting gas in your car or energy, but also fueling growth for educational needs, community service, volunteerism. It's a huge thing for us, and we really believe in it.
Well, I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Bahamian public for making this magical time of the year, especially magical with your jingle all the way around the world.
Right, and in addition to this jingle all the way around the world, visit 2 of our locations where you could get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shell Howard Road, Tony Williams Highway, and also now we just launched our new cafe at Shell Montague, right here on Shirley Street, and they get breakfast, lunch, going into dinner.
Lots of exciting news. I'm so excited about all the things that are happening. I want to wish you all, at the beginning, a very Merry Christmas and holiday season. And I want to thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Here are 3 young people who stopped attending high school and got disengaged in their educational journey due to the pandemic. Today, they are proudly taking their walk all over the place because they took advantage of BTVI's Smart Start initiative. All high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands can participate in free hands-on learning to improve employability, learn basic literacy and numeracy skills, and earn a BTVI certificate in automotive mechanics, beauty and construction trades, or fashion in only 14 weeks for full-time participants or 24 weeks for part-time. Don't count yourself out. Do what they did and enroll today. Email smartstart@btvi.edu.ds or call 502-6300 so you can take your walk anywhere in life.
One thing, 2 things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right into the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
From a cloud solution. You want flexibility and edge? You want to modernize applications with the ability to deliver new ones with lightning speed. You want an infrastructure that's automated, secure, cost-effective, and scalable. You want to give the end user the freedom they want with the control you need. You can't get all that from just any cloud. You need something better. You need Bahamas Cloud. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
The National Junkanoo Committee is an advisory body appointed by the Cabinet of the Bahamas government. Joining us now to tell us all about the National Junkanoo Committee are Dr. Dwight Marshall. He's a deputy co-chair of the National Junkanoo Committee. We have Kishlane Smith. She is the deputy co-chair of the National Junkanoo Committee. And Warren Andrew Pinder. He is the chairman of the National Junkanoo Committee. Here we are. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, everybody.
Thank you. Good morning.
Just now we was rushing on set, and it was a big joke because here we are, the Junkanoo Committee. Yeah. So, tell me, Mr. Pinder, what is the National Junkanoo Committee and what is its purpose?
The National Junkanoo Committee is a statutory board, as you said, appointed by the government of the Bahamas. We are here to advise the minister on Junkanoo affairs throughout the archipelago, ensuring that Junkanoo is preserved and carried out in one manner.
And what are the roles and responsibilities of the National Junkanoo Committee?
Oh, our roles are vast. As he mentioned, we are responsible for Junkanoo throughout the country. That means we're responsible for the administration, the parades, the judging. Apart from the senior parades on New Providence, all the other islands come under the National Junkanoo Committee. So our responsibilities include the judging of the parades, the National Junkanoo Legends Circle, marketing, and most importantly, Junior Junkanoo. Our children, they are the feeder for the senior parades. And so we take our responsibilities very, very seriously to ensure that we can facilitate that and see the transparency that funnels throughout the country.
You guys have a full plate. You sound more important than the election committee, right?
And in addition to that, we're also responsible for the marketing of Junkanoo, and we've been doing a tremendous job in that regard as well.
Which I would come in and say, yeah, I've been seeing, Junkanoo. I don't know if it has to do with the tourism products or just around the world. I've just been seeing Junkanoo in other places, exposing Junkanoo. So we'll talk more about the National Junkanoo Committee and all of your successes. But recently there was a big Junkanoo practice rush out, right? That happened downtown. Tell us a little about that.
Well, we partnered with Scotiabank, right? And we wanted to do something for the Junkanoo Committee because going down the stretch, it is a financial challenge. Yeah. And with this economic climate, it was tough. And we tried to keep a certain standard, all the groups. So one of our mandates as a National Junkanoo Committee is to try and create ways to put monies in the pockets of the Junkanoos themselves. The groups get money, right? And they, there's another body that takes care of that part. But we've promised to try and help with the regular average Junkanoo who has to reach in their pocket, because they're the people who really put on the show. And any opportunity we can to the National Junkanoo Committee, we're going to find ways to get monies in their pocket to help defray the cost of putting on the parade.
That's fantastic, because I know some Junkanoos, and you got getting down to this time of year, man, all they eating is grits.
Right.
Not even tuna and grits, just grits, because they saving money, get tricking out their costumes, getting ready to hit base. So that's very important. Once you're paid, you're a professional, so you can say that everyone who rushes, who gets paid, you're a professional Junkanoo, and I love that. Tell us, so how is the National Junkanoo Committee looking to expand Junkanoo? What's next for Junkanoo?
Junkanoo is after expansion of Junkanoo goes beyond New Providence. We're trying to bring up to scratch the Junkanoo parades throughout the archipelago. We're going to Eleuthera on the 23rd. All right, the 6th would be in the Exumer. So we've been going throughout the Family Islands, actually helping them with training. We had dynamic training sessions in Grand Bahama. We're scheduled to, for the first time, go to Bimini to try and organize a Junkanoo parade there. So that's the next expansion that we're looking toward.
All right, looking forward to the day when a big Family Island group come in for our Boxing Day and come and take the crown. Oh, that can be big things. You were going to...
In addition to that, though, there are many persons who are Junkanoos who prefer not to be a part of the parade. And so the National Junkanoo Committee, we've also introduced something for our students called the Essay, Logo, and Poetry Competition. And we must give kudos to Seoul Petroleum, because they have been our sole corporate sponsor for the last 34 years. And in our introduction of the Essay, Logo, and Poetry Competition, we've had a very, very vast array of attendees, admittance, and the talent in this country is real. I mean, on the islands that you wouldn't even expect anything from Junkanoo, they are there. And so we're very appreciative to our listening, our viewing audience, people who watch us, monitor what we're doing. Junkanoo is real in the country. We want to keep it alive. And in doing so, we're feeding it through our youth.
And that's how you keep it alive.
Indeed,
Teach them, give them the tools.
The fundamentals, yes.
I might say I like Junior Junkanoo more than the Senior Parade. I feel there's more vibe there, man.
Yes, you're not alone. A lot of people are very, very interested and love Junior Junkanoo because it's a family atmosphere, as does the Senior Parades, but the children are participating. And you get to see and nurture their talents. Yes.
I'm sure that everybody knows that when it comes down to it, the morning after Junkanoo, there's a lot happening with regards to judging and tallying. And just tell us, how does judging actually work? I know it's probably a very complicated process, but give us an idea of how the judging actually works during the parade.
Well, okay. Well, with us, with the National Junkanoo Committee, we've found a good formula. On our board, we have many, many professionals on our board, and there's one person in particular, I don't know if I can disclose his name, but he is a numbers guru. And so he formulated a tabulated platform where he inserts the numbers as the parade proceeds, and by the end of the parade, we'll be able to determine exactly who won the parade. So judging for us is different because every island is unique, and so we have to take advantage of the opportunities that are there on the island, understanding the dynamics on those islands, and ensuring that whatever rules are in place are from those respective islands. And so the beauty of it is that each island, very different. We can't take New Providence to Grand Bahama for saying we definitely can't take New Providence to Eleuthera, or we can't take it to Abaco or Andros. So we have to appreciate that every island has its own unique parameter. And the rules are indicative to that particular island.
Again, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still based on subjectivity, right?
Yes.
So we're still going on with somebody's opinion is of what happened. Right?
Yes.
And with that comes a lot of controversy. Yeah. But we have to just appreciate what we have. Junkanoo is the greatest show on earth, bar none. Whatever country you're from, whatever festival you have, bring it. You can't match it. So as Bahamians, we just need to appreciate that art form. And, you know, it's a lot of fun. So just appreciate what you see, because it's a lot of hard work, and we do it for the public. So.
And we can be there Boxing Day and New Year's in full force, supporting all of the groups, supporting all of you who've made this possible as a National Junkanoo Committee. We'd like to congratulate y'all on all y'all hard work, and we're looking forward to more to come, especially them big parades and the family islands. That Bimini one. I can see y'all in Bimini.
Right.
Thanks for being here this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you so much.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
What do you want from a cloud solution? You want flexibility and edge? You want to modernize applications with the ability to deliver new ones with lightning speed. You want an infrastructure that's automated, secure, cost-effective, and scalable. You want to give the end user the freedom they want with the control you need. You can't get all that from just any cloud. You need something better. You need Bahamas Cloud. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
And welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're here at the mid-show dead early on another marvelous Monday. Thank you for sticking with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner, hoping that you are having a happy Monday.
A happy Monday. We're happy that you're here with us, and we got such a packed show today. We're running around the studio. There's just a lot of things happening you can't see behind the scenes. But shout out to our production team, keeping us on time and keeping us looking good.
Oh yeah, very exciting show today. Thank you, courtesy of African Things.
Always. Y'all know where to find all your good African clothing. Check out African Things in the Dugard Plaza on Madeira Street. We got more coming up in our second half. We'll be talking to the grant recipients of the Wilson Awards and Prize established by the Wilson Family Foundation.
We'll also be hearing about Santa's free webinar, Preventing Domestic Violence Through Healthy Relationships. And the Honorable Michael Halkitis, I don't know, that had me for a second, is here to provide some insight on the government's fiscal performance thus far. But before all that, we'll take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Davriel, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at Sunrise, high pressure down over the last couple of days is going to shift towards the east and make for a cold front to move in here sometime this afternoon over Grand Bahama and Abaco, late evening into nighttime hours across New Providence, and then we have a second front move through sometime on Wednesday. In your marine forecast today, those winds ahead of the front, south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet. Those winds falling lighter in variable times. After frontal passes, those winds shift to the northwest to north at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest Bahamas. East to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Tuesday, those winds north to northeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest Bahamas, but falling light and variable at times. Northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over central Bahamas, and east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. On Wednesday, behind that front, those winds northwest to north at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the northwest Bahamas. So we have a caution post on northwest Bahamas on Wednesday. Light and variable, seas 1 to 3 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Year tides. Currently you have a low tide that happened 6:31 this morning. Next high tide will be at 48 minutes past midday. Low again this evening at 7:08. Sunset 5:19 this evening. Rising at 6:39. UV index 8. Your water temperature 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase now moving towards the last quarter. That front passed through today, and then another one Wednesday. So look at a mix and bikes throughout the remainder of the week with a couple of showers along those frontal boundaries. Temperature daytime ahead that front now will be in the upper 80s, but after frontal passage, those winds will drop into the low to mid 80s at daytime and the low 70s at nighttime. After second front, we're looking at temperature to upper 70s daytime and at nighttime in the mid to upper 60s. That picture up in your follow could weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. The Wilson Awards and Prize is a program that is contributing to the national development of the Bahamas. The grant recipients of the first cycle of the awards and prize have been selected. Joining me now are Dr. Christopher Curry and Dr. Keith Tinker, who are Wilson grant recipients.
It's great to be on the show this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Bahamas
Our
Sunrise.
pleasure.
I feel smarter just sitting in the room with both of you gentlemen. Both have an extensive career. Both are well-celebrated academics, and thank you for being here this morning. So how did you feel about being a recipient of this Wilson Award and Prize?
Well, I felt extremely honored, grateful that we were recipients, and of course the ability to complete the project would not have happened without being recipients of this Wilson Foundation Award. So we're very, very happy that we were able to receive it, and it went to a good purpose.
Right. So tell just our viewers who may not understand how grant funding helps research. Explain what the prize had done for your ability to complete your work.
Well, basically, when you're publishing, it costs so much money, you get so much time.
Right.
And so when you get a grant, it really supports and assists so that you could really go forward.
Right.
Because in this particular case, we were so, privileged that we can travel to the family islands.
Right.
Okay, case in point. We could speak to some of the older folks who sometimes you got to put a little penny in their hands, you know.
Yes.
And, rather than to push our hands into our pockets then with the grants, it's excellent.
Yeah.
And I must commend the Franklin Foundation actually for actually supporting that. I'm hoping that others could now catch a flame and go forward.
Exactly. And like you said, the funding helps with you, so you're not coming out of your personal expenses, but also again, when you speak to people, indigenous groups of people, their intellectual knowledge, you're getting from them a resource, so there should be an exchange, and
Yes,
I'm so happy that you're able to do that with your research.
And beyond the travel expenses and interviews costing, we also had transcriptions because people do interviews and they're put on tape recorders, but then who's going to actually take it from a tape recorder and put it into a document?
Exactly.
So transcription is another one, and then we had a copy editor who was also tasked with actually going through and reading what Dr. Tinker and I actually wrote and making it legible and something that made sense. So that was an expense. And then we also had the cover of our book, which is forthcoming this month, March on Bahama Land, Political History of the Bahamas from 1920 to 2020. And so you need to have the cover of the book. And so we got a designer, an artist, graphic designer to complete that. So these are all the elements that go into a published book. And without the Wilson Foundation's grant to us, none of this would have been possible.
Tell us a little bit about the book, March on Bahama Land.
We tried to trace the modern politics in this country, We have not seen no research in that area. There are little snatches here and there. So we really tried to do that. But we also tried to interview people from the family islands. Normally we don't do that. Normally we just go to those in Nassau centric. But their perspective, we find out, is so much different because they are now looking at, in many of those cases, you have some of the older folks who are used to dealing with the Bay Street Boys, let me say it like that, right, to be candid. And they are a bit intimidated because they want to say some things, but they don't want to say some things. But when you sit down with them and you could reassure them that, listen, this is going to help with the advancement of literacy, of history.
And understanding the full picture, or understanding a better perspective of the picture through this work. What was one of the favorite parts of working on this book for you?
Well, for me, it was actually uncovering a lot of those moments that don't get discussed too much. For example, there's this event in 1977, the Night of the Long Knives. And it's actually an event that happens at the PLP headquarters as they're trying to ratify potential or prospective persons to run in the next general election. And then there's the Christmas coup that happens way back in 1963 around Christmas time. These events don't get much coverage for different reasons, but we were able to discuss them in our book. And so, and then another one was in Grand Bahama, an event that really sparked what they were called the Dissident Aid and then the Free PLP. To break away completely from the PLP and eventually merge into another party. These events are covered in our book, and we found doing the research behind it quite interesting.
It sounds like a juicy piece of political history, drama, some interesting insight. Sounds like the basis for a movie one day, but we'll talk about that another time.
That was a Lewis Yard incident, by the way. That's in Grand Bahama.
So how can I get this book? When is it going to be published? When is it going to be available?
It should be coming out this month, actually.
Yeah, this month. Before Christmas, hopefully it'll be out. Definitely before the end of the year, because we wanted to have it out for the Jubilee anniversary.
So when it comes out, I can find it in bookstores, Amazon. How are you planning on distributing this?
We're going to have it distributed throughout most of our bookstores. You also could, of course, contact us for your own personal copy. We're going to do a series of book launches, hopefully, as well. So it hopefully will be widely available in the Bahamas.
Perfect. We're looking forward to the book being released. We do have to wrap now, unfortunately, but it sounds like we could sit here all morning and talk about the juicy political history of the Bahamas.
But could I add really quickly, we were able to introduce the children of some of the interviewees because most of the time is only to focus on the older folks.
And to get the children's perspective of what was going on.
Exactly.
And we love that. So we're looking forward to this book. We're waiting for it to come out. It's going to be all over shelves. And we thank you for your hard work, gentlemen, and look for more coming out of you in the future. Congratulations on winning the grant.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to the Wilson family and the Wilson Foundation.
Yes, always.
Yes.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Did you know the National Insurance Act provides for an insured pregnant woman to access her maternity benefit before or after delivering her baby? Expecting mothers are entitled to 13 weeks of maternity leave, which can be applied for by completing the Med-2 claim for maternity benefit form. Section A is completed by a registered physician or certified midwife. The medical practitioner certifies the expected or actual confinement period, signs the form, and affixes their official stamp. Forms completed by medical practitioners outside of the Bahamas must be accompanied by the physician's business card. In sections B and C, the claimant provides personal and employment details, declares their last day at work, signs and dates the form. The Med-2 form is always accompanied by Form Med-4 or Employer Certificate, which is completed by the employer. Both the Med-2 and accompanying Med-4 forms must be submitted within 3 months from the first day of confinement. Forms submitted outside of this period are considered late and will be subject to review by the Late Claims Committee. Before submitting forms, check that all fields are accurately completed. Incomplete forms or forms with incorrect information will delay the processing of your benefit application. For more information, visit the NIB website at nib-bahamas.com.
Here are 3 young people who stopped attending high school and got disengaged in their educational journey due to the pandemic. Today, they are proudly taking their walk all over the place because they took advantage of BTVI's Smart Start initiative. All high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands can participate in free hands-on learning to improve employability, learn basic literacy and numeracy skills, and earn a BTVI certificate in automotive mechanics, beauty and construction trades, or fashion in only 14 weeks for full-time participants or 24 weeks for part-time. Don't count yourself out. Do what they did and enroll today. Email smartstart@btvi.edu.es or call 502-6300 so you can take your walk anywhere in life.
Welcome back. As Zonta Club of Nassau continues their 16 days of activism, they will have a free webinar, Preventing Domestic Violence Through Healthy Relationships, scheduled for this Thursday. Here to tell us more are Dr. Detra Bethell, community mental health therapist and assistant professor of psychology at the University of the Bahamas, as well as Dr. Wendy Fernander, clinical psychologist and president of the Bahamas Psychological Association. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what is the significance of 16 days of activism?
Okay. So 16 Days of Activism is sponsored by the United Nations and many organizations around the world. What we do is we promote non-violence against women and children, and we're expanding that a little more in terms of just not violence at all, but it's violence. We do not advocate for violence against women and children, and we certainly fight against that. So that's something we would have been started many years ago. I think we started in terms of Sunday Club about maybe 2012, celebrating that. So we have a number of activities, radio talk shows, webinars, all kinds of trainings, and we're just speaking the message that violence is not the answer.
And I guess on the practical side of those 16 days, what are some of the activities that are happening?
Okay, so definitely the webinar we'll talk about it a little. There are 2 Zonta Clubs. There's Zonta Club of Nassau and New Providence.
Yes.
And so we've also had another webinar about children. We have Pinning the Parliamentarian. So again, we want to get the message out that violence is not the answer, and legislation certainly is the way to do it, as well as education. So we've done a number of things. In addition to that, we have partnered with the Best of the Best Regatta, and we are out there. You would see our orange bows. The orange bows signifies our dedication to nonviolence, particularly against women and children. And again, a lot of radio talk shows, a lot of going into the community. We've been going into schools. So we've been doing a number of things for the past, since November 25th until the 10th of December. We have a poster competition that's coming up that's going on in the schools as well, and the schools across the nation. So we have 3 categories there. We have the elementary, the middle, and high school categories. So that's another thing we're doing too, because we want to ensure that we work with the youth as well. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, because these problems, they start when you're young and they manifest when you're older. Yes. Dr. Fernander, talk to us about your involvement in the webinar.
Okay, so as mentioned, I'm president of the Bahamas Psychological Association. And so as part of the webinar, I will be talking about healthy relationships in women. And so that's what the focus is. I'm with healthy relationship with women. I think we have someone who's focusing on the family, focusing on healthy relationship in men, and with children. And then of course there's the legal aspect as well. So that's my role.
In a nutshell, of course, I know we're live, but what constitutes a healthy relationship?
Okay, so as we think of healthy relationships, it really depends so much, but we know at the core of what constitutes a healthy relationship is communication and trust. Okay, so integrity, someone feeling safe, feeling that I can be safe with this person, I can be vulnerable, I can leave myself open and not feel that I'm judged. There's definitely respect, and so all of these will come as you look at it. You would realize that respect is a key component of what a healthy relationship looks like.
And just, I guess, against the backdrop of our statistics of violence as it relates to women and children, why is this conversation, preventing domestic violence through healthy relationships, so important at this juncture?
I don't know if it's just at this juncture. I think this is something that has been and will continue to be a pertinent issue. So I'm not sure if it's at this juncture. I know persons are saying that, well, maybe there's an increase in domestic violence. I do think that there is an increase of reporting domestic violence. I'm not sure we have any research, any statistics that says that it has actually increased. The reason why I say that is, I think because what is happening now is because we're paying more respect and attention to the conversation. Persons are coming forward now. So it has been happening, and what the old people say, from time immemorial. It has been happening for a long time. We hope that there's not an increase, but what we are appreciative is that persons not coming forth and they are receiving assistance with the domestic violence.
And certainly the social media has actually contributed to a lot to the reporting, the fact that it's out there.
That awareness, that's got that conversation going. And these conversations are so important, as will be this week, Thursday's webinar, and so we want to definitely encourage everybody to tune in. These are important conversations that move us forward as a society. So I just want to say thank you for joining us this morning and talking about this very important topic.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank
and
you so
thank
very
you
much.
for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together, or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Welcome back. Joining us now to shed light on the government's fiscal performance is Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis, Minister of Economic Affairs, who will delve into the latest insights and updates on the nation's economic landscape. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Okay, so we'll jump right into it. Can you provide some insight into the government's fiscal performance at this point in the 2023-2024 year?
We are very, very encouraged by the performance. We are in the midst of a very, very robust recovery following COVID-19. Our economy has been performing very well, led of course by the tourism industry, but as well having contributions by other sectors such as construction. And so we have seen that growth in the economy manifested by the reduction in unemployment and just more activity in the economy. And that has filtered through the government's fiscal performance. As you know, the government incurred some very, very significant deficits coming off of Hurricane Dorian and COVID-19. We have seen a steady decline in those levels. The government has been meeting its targets. We have seen a reduction in the level of the debt to GDP coming from around a high of 100% back in June 2021 to now about 82, 83%, so very, very encouraging. We have had the benefit of a very positive IMF report that is forecasting that going into next year, we will continue to see growth in the economy. And we've had a very, very positive report from our own Bahamas National Statistical Institute demonstrating that for the first half of this year, we have actually surpassed 2019. So back to that level before Dorian and COVID-19. So we are very, very encouraged by the performance. Of course, some of the threats that we see on the horizon, you know, the disruption that's happening in Europe because of the war, the disruption that's happening in the Middle East, that can have impact on things like oil prices and causing inflation to be imported into the country. And so those are some threats. We live in the hurricane zone, so we always, thankfully, we're at the end of the 2023 hurricane season, and so we did not have a major event, so we're thankful for that. So those are some threats that, you know, always are on the horizon, but all in all, we are feeling very, very positive about our performance this year and the forecast going into 2024.
It sounds like a really strong, positive outlook, which is, I mean, as for every Bahamian, I'm sure, is encouraged by that. But are there any particular opportunities for growth that the government is looking at?
We have a very, very vibrant foreign investment program ongoing, and we're seeing that throughout the country. And so not only do we have private sector investment in places like Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, some of the other islands, but the government is also embarking on a very aggressive infrastructure improvement program, particularly targeted at the airports. So you will see rolling out in 2024 more improvement in the airport facilities on the islands, and we expect that to stimulate more growth. And so when we're talking about potential for Bahamians, what we have found is that, for example, coming out of COVID-19, our visitors are yearning for a more native, more local, smaller experience. Instead of the, you know, there's still room for the big resorts, but, you know, people want experiences. And so those who are thinking of investing, and there's going to be opportunities for small resorts and other areas within the tourism industry. I know people always say we need to diversify, but we can also diversify within, meaning, you know, there's going to be opportunities on the islands and opportunities right here in Nassau.
Absolutely. I think as a traveler myself, I know that there's an appetite for that authentic experience.
Exactly.
And so that is definitely an opportunity. Another way that we know that the government collects resources is through tax collection. So how have those tax collection efforts been going?
We're very, very encouraged. You know, we believe, and our strategy has been that we won't increase taxes, but what we will do is seek to grow the economy and do a better job of collecting the taxes that are due. And their diversity, I mean, from the marine economy to, foreign-owned properties, which we have been concentrating on. And we have been using various strategies, and we have seen some positive results. And the idea is that you're not imposing new taxes, and you're not, hounding people who can't afford it. But there's some elements out there where we see some opportunity, and we're talking things like foreign-owned real property. We have to do a better job of policing our marine environment to make sure that, for example, people who come in on private vessels, we take account of them and make sure that they're making their fair contribution
to society. We've seen another positive statistic is that we've seen a decline in unemployment, which is excellent news. But is the government taking any steps to further reduce unemployment?
Yes, we're expanding training. You'll see BTVI expanding its offerings to better train and equip Bahamians for the job market, and you would see more activity from the Department of Labor as they do more public relations, because there are a lot of opportunities out there, and it's throughout the islands. And sometimes we have employers who are in the islands doing developments, having difficulty attracting people to go from New Providence to those islands. And so what you'll see is more information, more education on these opportunities that are available, and how persons perhaps in New Providence, Grand Bahama, can take advantage.
You touched on, a positive outlook from the IMF, and then in terms of the Bahamian statistical offices. So, it seems like there's good news all around. Is there anywhere that you're hoping for more good news?
We expect what we want to see is our economy continue to grow. Even though the IMF revised our growth rate upwards, it's 2.3%. We would like to see our economy growing, 4%, 5%. That would, continue to create the employment, continue to create the activity in the economy, revenue for the government, so that we can address things like debt and continue on the downward trajectory. So we would like to see, we are encouraged by the positive prediction, but we would like to see even stronger growth.
I'm very encouraged by this conversation. I'm just happy just to hear the numbers as per growth, and just, again, a positive outlook. And I just want to say thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
What do you want from a cloud solution? You want flexibility and edge? You want to modernize applications with the ability to deliver new ones with lightning speed. You want an infrastructure that's automated, secure, cost-effective, and scalable. You want to give the end user the freedom they want with the control you need. You can't get all that from just any cloud. You need something better. You need Bahamas Cloud. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Well, we have had a whirlwind of a show this morning. We've had so many exciting conversations to get our Monday started right. I feel like this was the perfect start to the week, Mark.
Yeah, I think we in and out. We had a lot of good conversations this morning. Hopefully you got the energy ready for the week, and we're going to blaze straight through to Friday. We're looking forward to another fantastic Friday with everybody. Go ahead and overcome all those perceived hurdles. Have a productive week, and make somebody smile. Things be tough, People carrying things. Make someone smile. Give someone a hug. Give one of them nice deep church hugs and squeeze all the air out of their body.
And when you go to get gas today, stop by Shell so you can get things that you can either win for yourself or give to somebody this Christmas.
Happy pre-Christmas. See y'all later.
Look, it's a